own without using Bobi Nasution, because if he campaigns himself instead, a bigger effect for his run for presidency in 2024, and this is going to make him have more connections in the future. We think that this is very impactful for his presidency in 2024. We think that this is why it's regretful. It's because it backlashes his interest. If his interest isn't going to be fulfilled, then everything is going to be regretful, right? We have to find another way besides Bobi Nasution, because this is going to only backlash what he's doing. His interest is not the same as these people, and it's going to make it confusing. We think that this is why it's justified for us to regret this, is that Sandiaga Uno has shot himself in the foot, and we think that if you really want to win the presidential election in 2024, you have to separate yourself from Jokowi, and we think that that way he's going to make more connections in his party that's against Jokowi, and then if he's going to make more connections against Jokowi, he's going to have a much stronger following in that side. So I think that's it for my speech. I think that's all that I can say for now. Thank you very much.
Well, Prime Minister have already spent 7 minutes. 7 minutes. To open the opposition case, I would like to invite the oppositions. Time is yours. Here. Okay, guys, I just want to remind you, please, you can turn on your timekeeper yourself. And also, I'm going to start my timekeeper also. Thank you.
Hello, guys.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Let's have fun, shall we? My speech will begin in 3, 2, 1. We think in name of the politic, there is something interesting on the political decision. We say politics might change for ourselves as individual and as a group. We say, yes, it's about how we're going to win or gain opposition, and also it's about how we're going to prolong our career in political situation. Take a note, ladies and gentlemen, there is something unique in the Sandiaga Uno story. We say in the previous presidential, Prabowo invite in Sandiaga to be his partner because several of reasons. Because he represents the billionaires. We say that is how the strategic Prabowo tried to gain votes because Sandiaga have the economic background. But we see what happened when Jokowi win the election, ladies and gentlemen. We see that how Prabowo actually accept the Jokowi's invitation to become Security Defense Ministry. We say credibility at its finest are very highly dubious in name of politics. We say at the very first place, we say that the matter of the politics is that how we're going to, let's say, secure our position and we're going to win the position and actually it's just okay. Now, before jumping to my argument, I would like to rebut several ideas from the government. There are two kind of rebuttals. The first, when they say that Jokowi is unpopular, then people will choose Gerindra. It's a logical fallacy, ladies and gentlemen. Because of what? Take a note, people have strong bond on several groups that we believe is very connected. Like, for example, in Medan, PDIP has very strong on that. And for example, in Bali also, within that, we see that at the very first place, taking side are very accepted in the name of political. Because of what? Because number one, we want to secure ourselves a better position, right? Because at the very first place, we take ourselves in the political of Indonesia. Because we have our own resources to campaign, because we have to create our own career path in political, and there's nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. Even though we are Sandiaga Uno seeing uh, the way that Sandiaga Uno campaigned Bobi Nasution, seeing as the way of betraying the Gerindra, we say at the very first place, Prabowo accept the invitation from the Jokowi. So basically, credibility of someone are very highly dubious in political affairs. We see that is just exclusive enough to debunk their argument. But secondly, though, we see when they said that if Sandiaga Uno support the PDP or Bobi Nasution, they will lose. They will kill his career. We say actually it's not, and I'm going to elaborate in my argumentation. My argumentation is only one, ladies and gentlemen, is that personal choices. We have to see that at the very first place, we have to understand what burden that Sandiaga Uno when he decide to campaign himself to Bobi Nasution. The first, he might lose his own voters on Gerindra side, because several people are very strong in their side, their point of view on Gerindra. And the second of all, he might lose his benefit, like for example, he's cut his own relation on the Gerindra itself. We say that even though with those kind of burden, he still want to campaign Bobi Nasution. We have to take a look again why he do that. Because number one, he say he might see that how that by campaigning Bobi Nasution, it can be symbolized as the first step to gain a better position. That is the risk that he might take, right? He might lose several voters from the Gerindra, but in the future, he can gain more better. We assume that he may get better voters in the future, because we see that how populist people on the PDP itself. And also take a note, in Medan, Bobi Nasution are very populist, because number one, of course, he is from Medan. He's know the political situation. He's know the necessities of the people, and we say it's just justified for them. But it's like for them. And also, we have to understand that everything that Sandiaga Uno has been done on the Indonesian politics, that has actually come from himself. Like for example, we're talking about resources, about money. It's also it's actually come from self-exclusivity to what of decision that made. Second of all, we say political, there are things that change, right? Because political are very a diversity. And we were talking about okay, the better position or to win the election, in the future election, and we see that it's just okay. Because of what? Because number one, we see this Sandiaga Uno is a new actor and Indonesian actor politics in Indonesia. So we see that it is just okay for him. And we as the opposition, we do believe that it's just very exclusive for him to continue what he done, because what things that he done, he didn't violate any particular ideology or idea, ladies and gentlemen. Because number one, we see that if you talk about the credibility, Prabowo itself already accept the invitation of the Jokowi, his opposition. So what's the point of the credibility? But secondly, though, we'd say Sandiaga Uno decide to take what he believed good for himself, and we see, and he want to try it. When the government team come from the assumption that he will lose if he will lose in the presidential in 2024, it's just okay if he lose. At least things that he being done right now, it's things that he believe are going to be bring benefits for himself, and we say it's just okay. As the government team, they have to clarify or give justification on what kind of specific harm things for the Sandiaga Uno that they're really regretful if they want to oppose, if they want to agree this motion. And as the first speaker of the opposition, we very proud to oppose the motion. Thank you.
Well, the leader opposition had already spent time 6 minutes and 25 to continue the proposition case. I'd like to invite Deputy Prime Minister Stan Mishra here.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
All right, thank you. Please give me a minute to get my notes straight.
Okay.
Speech starts in 3, 2, 1. Several things like wait, I haven't started my timer. Oh god, where do I even put my timer? All of my devices are used.
It's okay. It's okay.
Please, oh god, where do I use a timer? Oh wait. Damn it. Ay, sembuh lah. Okay. I don't know. I'll just do this. I don't even know if it's gonna work, but I'll just do it anyway. Okay. So, speech starts in 3, 2, 1. Several things I'd like to clarify, starting off my speech. First of all, I'm going to clarify that, first things first, Sandiaga Uno, his kepentingan, what is kepentingan? Basically, his kepentingan for the next election is to become a presidential candidate. So, because of this, he doesn't really have a choice to be the anti-Jokowi candidate. And why is that? Because PDIP needs a stronger opposition. And why is that? Despite the opposition side of the house saying that PDIP, that Sandiaga Uno will get PDIP supporters support. Here's the thing: PDIP being the strongest political party in Indonesia, they are going to bring somebody up. And who is the biggest likelihood? Who is most likely to be a political candidate from PDIP? Puan Maharani. She seems very strong in the future, so it's very likely that she is going to be the one that goes up. And the urgency here is PDIP needs a strong opposition. And Sandiaga Uno, the opposition also agrees that Sandiaga Uno is new to politics. Now, Sandiaga Uno is new to politics, so he should be taking this opportunity to bring a name to himself. Now, because he has the opportunity to bring a name for himself, he should be going against Jokowi. Why is that? Because first of all, if he sides with Jokowi and then he decides to run, he's going to be seen as an opportunist, considering that PDIP also has a really strong candidate. Second of all, he's going to lose if he decides to bring up Jokowi's son and son-in-law. Basically, a lot of his supporters are from Jokowi supporters. Now, because of that, Jokowi supporters are mostly from PDIP, right? Are mostly PDIP supporters. But a strong candidate from PDIP is most likely going to go up, which is Puan Maharani, like I said. So basically, Sandiaga will end up losing all the support he tried to get from supporting Jokowi. Now, I'm going to say our side of the urgency. Our urgency is this is not strategic for Sandiaga Uno. So whether he does campaign or whether it's his personal choice, it doesn't matter, because politics is not just about what you spend or what you believe in, but considering his kepentingan is to be president for the next election,
He needs to find a strategy for himself, and this side of the house believes that this is not strategic. So next up, the first speaker of my side of the house said that Jokowi administration is unpopular. Now, to clarify this, why is he unpopular? He is currently unpopular because of the way he is handling the coronavirus. The coronavirus is booming and it's spreading like wildfire in Indonesians, and he is unpopular because the fact that he seems to fail to maintain the coronavirus, he seems to fail to maintain the coronavirus, making him unpopular. So emphasizing my previous statement about this is useless, that's the thing. Jokowi supporters are oh god, that's the thing, like he's not even very popular, but then he's not even very popular, but if he's trying to, but this is not strategic because he's already very unpopular, but he is helping the sons and the son-in-law. That the main thing is this is Jokowi. This is Jokowi he's helping out. That is unstrategic. And what he needs to do is be the loud and vocal critic for Jokowi, the way Trump was a loud vocal critic for Obama. Now, what else did I need to clarify? Second, so okay. So I would also like to respond to them saying that I would also like to respond saying why this is symbolized as first step of gaining power. That is not true, because that is not true. The fact that they said that this is symbolized as the first step of gaining power, because like I said, he's new, so, and he is also from Gerindra, so he needs to focus on stepping up the game for Gerindra. And also note that PDIP, the opposition, there are only several parties of opposition parties, let's say PAN and Democrat and everything. They don't have a strong lead. They don't have the opposition party, they don't have a strong lead, they don't have a strong face. So basically, like for example, Amin Rais, he's weak, he's not strong anymore. And also siapa lagi ya? Yeah, basically like a big figures like Amin Rais from the opposition party is already so weak. So basically somebody needs to come from the opposition, and this is Sandiaga Uno's chance to find face, and he's blowing it by helping Jokowi. Now, jumping into my extensions, first of all, this will affect the voters. Like I've already said, the people he's going to affect are the voters. Because the voters in the beginning of the election, there are Gerindra followers and also PDIP followers, right? These are the voters. There are Jokowi supporters, there are Gerindra followers. Now Jokowi is actually losing popularity right now. So basically, Jokowi can't write Jokowi in any way, but Jokowi is losing popularity. This doesn't affect Jokowi in any way, but this affects everybody who's connected to Jokowi, including his son and his son-in-law. So the fact that Sandiaga Uno is trying to help the son and son-in-law of Jokowi, we believe that it is useless, even though it's a matter of personal choice and it's a matter of who he wants to or where he gets the money for campaigning. It's useless because he's completely ignoring the fact about strategy. Oh, time's up. That is all from my speech. Hence, our side of the House oppose this motion.
Well, Deputy Prime Minister have already spent 7 minutes and 57 seconds. Continues the opposition case. Would like to invite the people of the opposition. Time is your here.
Check. Is I audible?
Yes, you are.
The government side of the House believe if their Bobby Nasution will be succeed if their elections with Sandiaga Uno on their situation. But we believe that, um, but the society decisions is always changing time by time. We cannot, there is no guarantee, even their Bobby Nasution will be with Sandiaga Uno or will be with Jokowi, he will be win. There's no guarantee of that because we believe that society decisions time by time is always changing, ladies and gentlemen. There's no guarantee if Bobby will be if Bobby with Jokowi and he will be win, right? We believe that there's a politic things that should be remembered and always changing time by time. We see how first a demography of Indonesia is always changing. How actually we see place index of death or life of the people in the society always changing, ladies and gentlemen. So it's mean every single of people will be have their own index or demography which is always changing. So the changing of population itself is influence how the people will be as the voters, right? The second, it is interest of the people is changing because we can see how actually people see consume their news in every day in social media, in Google or something else in platform or technology, ladies and gentlemen. This idea is always seen by them to make them as reference. So the issue is that their idea or the news, the issue and the fundamental of them is changing time by time. So we cannot guarantee if their fundamental or their idea will be always in one if their Bobby Nasution will with Jokowi itself, ladies and gentlemen. Second, Jokowi failed. They say that Jokowi failed in maintaining COVID-19 and make he not popular again, right? We see the COVID-19 is a pandemic, which actually we can see even the strongest country they cannot afford to be a pandemic itself. Actually, we see German. USA or any kind of Singapore even cannot handle well this kind of thing. Why? The government side of the house blame Jokowi itself from this kind of thing, right? Before they continue these argumentations, I would like to give the sign costing what actually I'm talking about. First, is less. It will be impact if you are Bobby Nasution as a son of law Jokowi and let them supported by Sandiaga Uno. There will be less gap of conditions, right? We see PDIP and Gerindra is the strongest pro and contra in Indonesia, right? They create different idea, different fundamental idea. We can see actually the case happen in different idea is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, actually we see the supporter PDIP from Jokowi election versus supporter from Gerindra from previous time is always conflict, right? We see the mass actions, mass anarchy, mass actions always happen anywhere in public area, for example, we actually give a disadvantage for the people, traffic jams, lose life, or the people anarchy essence because they're a different fundamental of idea. This kind of thing. So in order to less the gap of the populations of the people from the supporter from the PDIP and Gerindra itself, we want to minimize this kind of thing happen, ladies and gentlemen. We see the society, if the society going to unite in this kind of thing, there will be same perception if we let the Sandiaga Uno support Bobby Nasution itself. There will be impact that our society in unity, right? For example, how actually we see if they if our society in unity, it will be easier to work together, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, like case of COVID-19 itself, if our society already in unity and no have different fundamental or different idea, because no block A or block B, it will be minimizer the job of government itself. We see there will be easier trains their society to be easier to fulfill any action of any planning if we are in unity, ladies and gentlemen. We see harshly, we see the example, great example of Prabowo already accept himself as the a minister of Jokowi itself. We see if the previous time there are always conflict, there anarchy action has left, right? We see from the Prabowo after accept this Jokowi, there will be Jokowi group and Jokowi group and Prabowo group in unity, ladies and gentlemen. So we believe that unity is better rather than we separate all the things, ladies and gentlemen. And we see that Sandiaga Uno have the similar thing with Bobby Nasution. We see they are progressive people. We believe that Sandiaga Uno is progressive people, ladies and gentlemen. They are active and want to learn something and close very nature with like Blusukan in the society and want to have the great planning for the society itself. We believe that there is some idea with Bobby Nasution itself. We believe that Bobby Nasution, also intelligent person and a great person, they actually have the same progressive people for both of them. We see with the same vision of this kind of thing, it will be help them to more close to the society and more have campaign to more succeed their campaign for the Medan itself, because we believe that Medan is a place for Bobby Nasution where he came from, right? We believe that Bobby Nasution is already well known about this kind of place for about the Medan itself. So we believe that with help by Sandiaga Uno with progressive people and well known about Bobby Nasution will be help them to be win in the next election if they are Medan, even they are different thing, different from different group or different party, ladies and gentlemen. So we believe that our stand as the opposition is that we don't want to regret, but actually we want to support Sandiaga Uno decisions in order to help the Bobby Nasution in campaign, ladies and gentlemen. So we believe that with the clarification why it's justified with not regret Sandiaga Uno as this decision. First, because they are individual right to choose which people want to campaign by or by Sandiaga Uno, as long that people have be able to be candidate by those people, because we believe that as long people have the right and as long people have their own choice in order to be an election, it's okay to do this kind of thing, and in order will be fulfilled good, as long it will be fulfilled good qualification of the leader, right? As the leader, we see the qualification as good leader is that is first is a good knowledge, and we have a good education, good or very close with society, or fulfill the leader any other criteria in good idea. So we believe that by burden of discounting by individual right, it is same idea with Bobby Nasution and with Sandiaga Uno in order to help and run in the next election. So we don't want to regret this kind of thing at the first place. So we're proud as the opposition's bench of the House. Thank you.
Thank you for the deputy leader opposition, because my phone is turned off, so I don't know what time your speech. Okay, never mind. So to continue the government case, would like to invite Government Peter. Timekeeper sendiri ya, soalnya HP saya mati. Check, check. No, you're not audible. Check. Jason, you are not audible. No, Jason. I can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. There we go. Where's my, oh, yeah. I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panels, I see a lot of problem with the opposition's argument. I see a lot of their arguments is just basically irrelevant to the case, such as their rebuttal regarding the COVID-19 handling, which is the Indonesian capability that will affect all countries, and therefore Jokowi should not be to blame. This is irrelevant because in the end of the day, we don't. This is about the future of politics in this country, not comparing Indonesia with the other countries. Are there other arguments regarding the people's preference is changing and there is no guarantee that Bobby will win the election in the first place? This is irrelevant also. Whether Bobby will win or not, it is the important thing is that Sandi Uno supported him, which will bring a lot of problem in his long-term political aspiration. Also, regarding the credibility is their arguments that credibility in politics is dubious. This is also irrelevant. Why is that? Because in the end of the day, this is something that we all already know in the first place, that the most important thing to you to win the election is to not be the nicest guy as possible, is to be the most popular guy possible. And by doing this, Sandi Uno had just hurt his chance to become the most popular candidate possible. Now, this idea of that we are discussing about is whether or not this move that Sandiaga Uno choose to take, which supporting Bobi Nasution, will serve a good thing for Sandiaga Uno's political aspiration in the long run. Let's see what the opposition side of the house has to say. They say that Sandi will get a better position in PDIP. Sandi will be supported even by the pro-Jokowi supporters, which is great in theory. However, this will not stand in the next election. One, because in the end of the day, Sandiaga Uno is the heir apparent of the anti-Jokowi movement. We've seen this has happened because Sandiaga Uno is obviously the vice presidential candidate for Prabowo in 2019, right? And Prabowo, not only is he too old to run for president again, however, he is also being the part of the Jokowi administration, which makes him basically the part of the government that is unpopular in the country, right? And therefore, Prabowo's position as the lead opposition leader is basically irrelevant at this point. So if it's not Prabowo, then it must be Sandi Uno, right? He is the heir apparent. After all, however, by him supporting Jokowi's son-in-law, he is hurting himself in the foot by being the pure anti-Jokowi candidate in the 2024 election, right? this is something that he should have not do, which is not strategic. Let's see what the opposition also had to say. Oh, that Sandiaga Uno already have the money, so he doesn't need, already had the money by himself, so he doesn't need, I don't know, the connection that he needs. Yes, he needs the connection. He is a new guy in political spectrum in Indonesia, and therefore he still needs the connection. If the money itself is crucial, is crucial to win, is the only parameter on deciding you whether you get the presidency or not, then in theory, Prabowo Sandiaga should have won in 2019 election because they are significantly richer than the Jokowi and Ma'ruf Amin pairing, right? And therefore, money doesn't speak for everything in the first place. Let's see what the deputy leader of opposition have to say. They say that the unity between these two sides is good. Like, right, they are both progressive. They are both have young and have a lot of similarities. Two responses to this. One, unity. Yes, it is indeed good. However, it is basically just a daydream when you enter the election year. In the election year, there is no cooperation. There will only be conflict after conflict, as we seen in previous elections, right? There will be no cooperation, there will be no unity, and therefore, what Sandiaga Uno did is just basically in vain. Second response is that both sides are already progressive. Oh yeah, but what is progressive in your dictionary? Is it only because both of them like blusukan, that means they are progressive? No, right? Therefore, what the opposition side of the house is very absurd by saying they both are very progressive, because clearly the base of their support is very different from one another. The base of Sandiaga Uno's support is from right-wing nationalists that see Jokowi as the weak and pelongo-pelongo leaders in the international world. On the other hand, TIP is definitely more left-wing, more supportive of Jokowi, and seeing the right-wing nationalists that supported, that's the base of Sandi Uno, it as the bad guys, right? And therefore, they cannot be as different as one another in these things. And also, the opposition side taking a calling that it is the right of the Sandiaga to choose whoever that he wants to support. Yes, we are not disagreeing that. However, we say that it is not strategic for his long run. Let's see what he could have done instead in our government, in our side of the houses scenario. Sandi Uno could be the powerful opposition leader, which is essentially needed right now. During this COVID, it is the most logical move for Sandiaga Uno to stand as far as possible from the Jokowi administration to give the message to the public that, hey, yo, I don't involve with this mess. Just vote for me. I will clear this mess. And therefore, it is, how should I say, that it is not. It is good for Sandi Uno that he supposed to be the opposition leader instead, and by supporting Bobby, not only is he disenfranchised his own base of support, he was seen by the general public as just the opportunist who supports everything that are seen to be popular, which is not good in democracy. Now, the people's preference is always changing. We agree with that. That in 4 years from now, we don't see COVID-19 will be the most in the Indonesian politics. However, the fact that Sandi Uno supported Jokowi's son-in-law, despite him clearly being the guy from the anti-Jokowi bloc, will hurt himself, will be a stain from hurt his long-term chance in the political world. That's why we are proudly propose this motion.
Well, government would have already spent time, 8 minutes and something. So to close the opposition case, I would like to invite opposition with time is yours. Here. Before you start your speech, make sure your internet connection is good,
Tes.
and also, yep, time
I'm
keeper
a-
sendiri ya.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Ada timer nggak, Des? Timer. And, yeah, I will start now. Politic career needs sacrifice, and what Sandiaga Uno does don't don't has the sacrifice. if if the worst scenario is lost, he just okay and uh, if he make loss and just okay. If we're talking about the strong opposition, there will be someone who will run as the candidate as a president. We have Prabowo and we have Anies Baswedan. Basically, there I there will be someone who run as a new president. Sandiaga Uno start by himself. They alone in Indonesian polling and he's going to I'm sorry he alone in Indonesian polling, and we believe in what our second speaker say. The society the decision can changing because the society has a right to has a hak to choose their leader. For the example, if your school need you to choose the leader of the OSIS and your school give two candidates, you can choose with the pressure, but you can choose what you think can be better of the OSIS of the leader. And and the point and so much obstacle that Sandiaga Uno with face, but he's still
Yo, I.
but he's still no thank you, but he still do that. Why? Because he believe his pet are uh, at least what it to try. And we know Sandiaga Uno, Sandiaga Uno is a smart people and have a have a res, have a have a and have resources uh, and can be and the society can trust the if Sandiaga Uno to be the to be president.
Yo,
And
I.
no thank you, and I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the government with. It's time for opposition reply to give some reply speaker for oppositions reply speaker from the opposition. Time is yours.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Basically, we just end the debate, and it was wonderful debate, and it somehow state clearly and explicitly why both of the sides, number one, do agree that your topic had the best for the Sandiaga Uno, and the second of all, what were the most strategic things that to begin, the most strategic that he can start with. As the opposition team, we already clarified to you that number one, we say that there is a political spectrum that there will be sacrifices, there will be things that we will lose, and of course, the potential to win and to lose are same. So basically, it's just happened, and we also already elaborate what things that Sandiago will need to pay, and he just face it, and he just okay with it by supporting, campaigning the Bobby Nasution. On the other side, on the government team, they stating on how Indonesian politics need a strong opposition as the way we run the politics because several reasons. Because number one, we say that joining the Jokowi because the COVID-19 is not strategic since Jokowi are very lack in controlling COVID-19, and second of all, because we say that Jokowi there is a little chance from the PDIP to support Sandiaga Uno for the presidential because there are several candidates that stand for PDIP. But then I want to emphasize one more thing, we can win this debate. Why? Because number one, we already debunk their idea about strong opposition teams because there will be a lot of strong opposition teams. Number one, and number two is that we are understand how the political run and what sacrifice that need to be paid to ladies and gentlemen. We say it's need to be paid. And Sandiaga Uno know that he's a smart person. He has huge resources, and he is the one who will involve in Indonesian politics. We say that political career needs sacrifice, and if he lose, then it's just okay. Things that he being done is things that he believe, and it is worthy to try. That is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. And what things that we debunk from the government is that number one, when they're stating about the strong opposition, we say that they're always a strong opposition. And number two, their logical policy on stating that just because Jokowi is popular, it means that people will take other side. We say it's not simple like that because people have a strong bond on the political party, which are PDIP, like what I said before, Bali with the PDIP and Java and Sumatra with the PDIP. It's just happened, ladies and gentlemen. And thirdly, though, we say the assumption, okay, we assume that Sandiaga Uno do the presidential in 2024. But then, if he lose, then he lose not, then he just lose. That's the point of the political, right? He paid that price, ladies and gentlemen. But the point is that his political career will be so prolonged since he just joined, he just follow a path that he believed good for his political career. And as the opposition reply speaker, we do win this debate. Thank you. I just got my speech.
Thank you for the speaker. It's time for the speaker from the time is yours.
I'm audible. Am I?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Give me a minute. I need to. Oh no, my tablet is lagging. Wait. Ah, wait. No. My tablet is lagging. Whew. Right. Speech. Oh, by the way, hold on. I'm really sorry, but can I ask for a little favor? Can I ask for a little favor? I don't really have. I have 3 devices with me, but I don't really like all of my notes are in all 3 devices, and I don't really have anything to time keep. So can I please? Okay. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Right. So, speech starts in 3, 2, 1. First of all, jumping as the last speaker of this debate, I would like to point out that the opposition side of the House is so focused on their own case. They are not engaging to our speech, and honestly, they did engage on the last speaker, which is the reply speaker. However, the reply speaker is really late, so. And even if they were engaging, it's mostly one-liners speaking of peacefulness in Sandiaga Uno. Basically, that's literally it. They talked about nothing about the and not much other than that. So, summarizing our case, pointing out what we both agree on. First of all, we both agree that PDIP is the strongest party. However, the opposition side of the House is completely we also both sides also agree that there will be stronger candidates in the next election. However, the opposition side of the House is forgetting that despite people of PDIP, if we are to assume that people of PDIP are right now supporting Sandiaga Uno because they support Jokowi's family, they are forgetting that it is possible PDIP will bring up a new candidate, which, like I said, is Puan Maharani. So we cannot, and we also both agree that politics will change from time to time. Now, this contradicts with their own case because politics will change from time to time, right? So as of now, if assuming that people who support Sandiaga Uno because they support Jokowi, as of now, and we both agree that both sides can change opinions when it comes to politics. So they never proved how they can guarantee with their own argument that by helping, they will keep that these people who say Sandiaga Uno is so nice as of now, but in 4 years, they never guaranteed how it's going to stay that way. So, also, I would like to rebut the third speaker's argument about a lot of strong opposition, say from Gerindra. They said that it may not be Sandiaga Uno who's running for president. It could be there are stronger people like Prabowo and then Anies Baswedan. First of all, I would like to say Prabowo, like my third speaker already said, Prabowo is too old and lost twice in a row. If he was to run again, it's risky and he's old, so he is very, very, very less likely to be chosen. Second of all, Anies Baswedan has proven to fail completely in politics. He used to be the Minister of Education and then he got demoted. Then he ran for mayor for government of Jakarta, and then he completely flopped Jakarta. Jakarta's cases are going big and it's flooding everywhere. So that just proves that they have an irrelevant example with the irrelevant argument. Then, oh God, lagging. Anyway. And then, so I would like to point out that the interest right now is for Sandiaga Uno to be on top, to prove that he is going to be biggest in power. So, and our side of the House also said that politics is not about who's nice and who's not nice. How do we prove that? Look at Trump. Is he a nice person? No, but guess what? He won. He won the election, right? So it's about who seems more powerful, not who has the most connection. It's about who seems more wise, who seems like, I can fix this. Jokowi is doing terrible right now. I'm going to fix this. Not work with him. I'm going to fix what he did. That is why our side of the House deserves to win. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So,
Also, thank you very much for opposition for timekeeping me.
Yeah, sure, no pressure.
Well, just wait a minute, and I will back. I will get. I'm going to the asking about.
Hey guys, you just done such a good things. Congratulations.
You guys did really well too. Thank you. Oh, are you all in university?
Yeah, we are from university, Mahasaraswati University.
Actually, we're only 17. We're still in high school.
Oh yeah, and I see a bright future in debate competition
Oh, thank
for
you.
for the third speaker, of course. You did your best, and it's amazing.
Yeah, he's our ace. Thank you.